What's going on, YouTube world? This is your guy, Sealz the man, your internet brother, your internet friend, and your guide in talking about understanding the mind of good men, decent men, how we think, what makes us tick, why we do the things we do. And today I'm going to talk about something important that goes on in a lot of men's lives. And that is what happens up here. What happens in general when a man is officially over his ex. This is important to know in understanding men. But this is also important to know when you're in a relationship with a man and you're trying to figure out if he's truly fully available for you. It is very tricky. And the reason why it's tricky, especially for men, is because it is a hard process. Now let me explain why it's a hard process, especially for good men, decent men. And that is because when we initiate a relationship with a woman, we want it to be a forever thing. We have future plans with this woman. We want it to be a good thing. We want to find a good woman as we know that is a good thing. So we create these plans, brainstorming the future between us two, because we want this to be a forever thing. So when things don't work out, it is devastating, heartbreaking, because we know that those things that we planned for, invested in, will never happen. But what's even worse than that is staying attached to someone who is no longer attached to you. A losing war. But that's why it's so important not to jump from relationship to relationship when you're not even over your past one. But it's interesting when it comes to men because we are the initiators. And now we have to accept the fact that the thing we initiated and invested in is done. But it is possible. And the first look of what it looks like when a man is officially over his ex is that he talks about his past relationship with closure. When he brings her up, if he brings her up, it's coming from a place of growth and not regret. One of the glaring signs that I can tell when someone is not over their ex is when they bring them up, they're speaking in present terms with them, as if they are still with this person. Oh, my ex likes this. She loves that. When it rains, her knees hurt. There is no ED at the end of his statements. There is no finality. There is no closure. They're speaking as if they're still in it, in the midst of it. Because when you are over something, you place an ED on the end of that thing. Used to. I showed her. We planned. See what I'm saying? When you add that ED at the end, that's closure. That's it. That is representing the past, and I'm leaving it in the past. And when it comes from him speaking about her from a place of growth, he is not blaming her. He doesn't have salty vibes. You don't get the sense that he's still angry or not over her. And that is because he has truly moved on, forgave her, and that no longer triggers his anger or emotional response. He's fine. He no longer romanticizes the past with her. That emotion is done. So let's go to the second sign that a man is officially moved on from his ex. And it piggybacks off of what I just said. When it comes to triggers, he no longer feels emotional triggers. When you have invested in someone, when you have loved someone, cared for someone, shared experiences and moments with a loved one, and you're no longer in that situation, that can trigger those memories. That can trigger those feelings that you had in those experiences with that man or that woman. It can make you step back and think about the times that y'all had. Those feelings can just rush back into you and you feel it. It's real because you once lived those times with a special someone at that time. And especially if they were good feelings, positive feelings, feelings of love. That is hard to just throw away, trash. But when a man is no longer attached to those feelings and those moments, when he is officially over his ex, he doesn't get angry or sad, or excited, or nostalgic when her name comes up, when she's asked about, because he has officially moved on. And in moving on, in that process, he has left those feelings. Also, in digging into the mindset of men who are officially moved on from their ex, especially in today's generation, when we see them on social media, he is indifferent to her post, or seeing her with someone new on her page. He feels no way, because if he wasn't over her, he would feel jealous, angry, sad, emotional, ready to fight this new man who has nothing to do with anything y'all went through. But he will feel all these things because he is not over her. When you are over your ex, that's done. Good riddance, blessings to you, but I feel no way. And I mean that truthfully. That is what a man feels when he's officially over his ex. The triggers of emotion no longer exist. The next flag and sign that shows that a man is officially over his ex is that he no longer checks on her. One of the worst things to do is to continue to check on someone who is 1, no longer checking for you, 2, no longer with you, and 3, has moved on from you. You are just twirling in a sand pit, in a pool of mucky mud, checking on someone who you are no longer with, because you're giving yourself no opportunity to progress, to move on, to move forward. A man is not going to continue to check on a woman that he has officially moved on from. because he has accepted what has happened between them. He has accepted that they are no longer together. Therefore, he has accepted that communications between them two should not be happening. Because what is it going to do? Except for bring old feelings, or trying to reignite old flames, or bring back old trauma between y'all two. It's just not worth it. You are not going to go back to the thing you moved on from. The past and the future cannot coexist. You need to respect each in the place that they have in your lives. So any man that continues to check on his ex for whatever excuse that he exclaims or gives you, I will not fall for it, because I ain't checking with my exes, bro. Come on now. The next thing I'm going to talk about, the next sign that a man has officially moved on from his ex, is specific to this generation when it comes to social media. And that is, he does not try to win the breakup. He's not sending subliminals on his stories or his post. He's not posting things just to make her jealous. He's not doing any of those things because he does not care to. Some of the funniest things I see in today's social media is when I see a person post an obvious subliminal, a sub on their stories or their Facebook page or their status, when they're clearly talking about their ex, but trying to make it seem like they're okay, or try to make it seem like they're over them. You're not. Because trust and believe, when you are over someone, you do not care what they think. You do not care about giving any impressions for them to see or view. A man that is over a woman is not going to try to post things, new possessions, shiny jewelry, new cars, to make her feel like she's missing out on something, because he does not care, because he has moved on. You care about things that you are currently attached to, things that you currently love, things that you want to be with. And the other side to this, when you're trying to win a breakup through social media, is that that man is genuinely happy for her. When a man is officially over his ex, most times he doesn't want her to go through anything bad, because at one time he loved her. He's not wishing bad on her just because their relationship failed. Because once again, if you're wishing bad on someone, that means you care enough to want to see them do bad. Why would you care about what they're going through? Therefore, he's going to be authentically happy for her, whatever comes her way. Whatever accomplishments, or even getting a new man, he's going to be all right. Wishing her the best. Even if she's single and doing good, all the best to you. That is the vibe he's going to give. And the last point I want to talk about is an obvious one. When a man is officially over his ex, he is able to open his heart to someone new. He's emotionally available. He's open to talking about his past experiences and past relationships. He's open to talking about love and the possibility of love. He's ready to build something new. He's ready to build something real. He's comfortable in talking about the future with you. When you're not over someone, you're still holding on to a chance, a possibility that y'all can somehow get together or get back together, or that she will see her ways and change her ways for you, and that will make you comfortable enough to get back with her. He's leaving a chance. But one thing about chance is that if you leave a slither of chance, that is too much risk, especially with dealing with a new woman in a new relationship. You need to be all in or all out, 0% or 100%. Because that is not fair to you, but it's also not fair to your new partner. Either you have moved on or you haven't. It's pretty straightforward. A man has to be honest with himself. Also, with this point, he's no longer carrying emotional baggage into his new relationship, into his current situation, because he has healed, or he's currently in the process of healing, but he has made that commitment to healing. He wants better. He wants something new. He wants something beneficial, something different, and he's committing to that. When a man has moved on from his ex, he has committed to the progression of his love and what he wants in a relationship well before committing to an actual woman. But he has to commit. These things are important to know, especially if you're in a new relationship with a man, because these signs will show. Whether he's over his ex or not over his ex, these signs will show. And when these signs show, don't ignore them. And you have all the right to have a conversation and bring up the conversation, asking him if he's truly over his ex. Because if he's not, you are going to waste your time. Because it is not a guarantee that he's going to stick with you if he's still not over his ex. It is not a guarantee that you're going to change his mind and show him what he actually needs if he's not over his ex. Nothing is guaranteed. So my suggestion, when a man is not ready because he is not over his ex, press the brakes. And if you're open to waiting for him to go through his process and healing process, and maybe y'all could come back in the future, that is better than sticking with someone who is not over their past relationship. You are setting yourself up for a lot of bad things. But this message is also for men who are fighting with themselves because they know they're not over their ex, but they don't want to admit it. If you are still going through these things, brother, then you are most likely not over your ex. And you need to do whatever it takes to move on, especially if you claim you want to commit to someone else. It's just not fair to neither of y'all, all right? This is your guy, Sealz the Man, talking about something uber important when it comes to understanding the mind of men. Thank you for rocking out with me, and I will see you in my next video. Peace and blessings. Goodbye.